Hey, welcome back to your favorite pre-calculus course. We're going to take a look now at complex fractions. We're going to start out with just doing it with some rational numbers here. The idea is you want to get one fraction over one fraction. So we got to get like terms in the top. So I got to get a common denominator 6 here on that one. And on the bottom, I'm going to have to get a common denominator of 18. So this will end up being 3/6 minus 2/6 and 15/18 minus 1/18. So this will end up being 3/6 minus 2/6, 1/6. 15 minus 1, 14 all over 18. Ideally, I would, both of those go into 2. So I got 1/6 all over 7/9. And now I can go and multiply by the reciprocal, 9/7, 9/7. So I've got 9, or 3 times 3 over 6, which is 3 times 2 times 7. Notice the 3's cancel. So we're just left with 3/14 on this first one here. You go ahead, pause the video, and try this next one. Should have ended up with 25 over 14 on that U-try problem there. If you want to take a look at my work to check yourself. Now we're going to do the same thing if we involve variables. We want to get one fraction on the top, so simplify that into one fraction. And same thing in the denominator. I want to have one fraction over one fraction so I can keep change flip. Well, this one is, as far as common denominator is concerned, it's missing an x. And this side's missing a 6. Over here, this one's missing an x, this one's missing a 7. So now I have common denominators, x plus 6 all over 6x. On the denominator, I got x minus 7 all over 7x. So now I can keep change flip. I have one fraction on the top over one fraction on the bottom. That's the ideal. Now I can go ahead and multiply it by the reciprocal. And so we end up with 7 times x plus 6. On the denominator, I have 6 times x minus 7. Notice my x's do cancel, so I'm just left with 7 times the quantity x plus 6 over 6 times the quantity x minus 7. And we're all done to that point there. And this next one's a good U-try problem if you want to pause the video and do that similarly and check yourself. Go ahead and check yourself on those ones there, simplifying that fraction. Let's move on here to another one here. We got the 1 over y minus 3/2. So let's go ahead and write that. Let's get a common denominator there. We'll also get a common denominator down below as well. So this one's missing a 2, and this one's missing a y. Now let's see our 2y common denominator. In the denominator here, this one's missing an 8, this one's missing a y. So it looks like now we're squared away with common denominators. I got 2 minus 3y all over 2y. In the denominator, I got 8 plus 3y. This is all over 8y. So now we can keep change flip. Keep the top here, multiply by the reciprocal of that denominator, so 8y over 8 plus 3y. And so we've got 8y times 2 minus 3y. I've got a 2y and an 8 plus 3y. Notice my 8's cancel, and then 8 over 2 leaves me with 4. So I just got 4 times 2 minus 3y all over 8 plus 3y. Or if you want to write it, 8 minus 12y over 8 plus 3y is fine as well. You can go ahead and try this one. I'm going to pause the video. You can check your work on that. All right, should end up with 3 times the quantity 3 minus 4y all over 9 plus 4y. All right, notice this next one. We've already got one fraction on the bottom. We just got to get the top. So we got to give that a 13, give that an x. So it looks like we have 13 minus 1x all over 13x, and then this is all over x minus 13 all over x. So we have 13 minus x all over 13x times reciprocal x over x minus 13. Now notice that 13 minus x, that's real close to x minus 13. Let's go ahead and factor out a negative. That would change both of those signs. And see how now we have x minus 13, that'll factor. In fact, you've got an x and an x there as well that'll factor. And so you're just left with a negative 1 over the 13 on the bottom, and you're all done with that problem there. Let's do another one similarly. We got 4 plus 20 over y. Got to get a common denominator there. We're going to have to get these together as well. So this is over 1, so let's give it a y. This one's over 1, let's give it a y squared. And so it looks like this is 4y plus 20 all over that y. In the denominator, I got y squared minus 25 all over y squared. So we got 4y plus 20 all over y times y squared over y squared minus 25. Let's go ahead and factor 4 times y plus 5. I've got a y squared, I've got a y. Let's factor y squared minus 25, y minus 5, y plus 5. See how my y plus 5's cancel? I got a y squared over y, which leaves me with 1y on the top. And so it looks like we've got a 4 on the top, a y on the top, and a y minus 5 on the bottom. So 4y over y minus 5. If you want to pause the video on this next one, you go ahead and do that and work through that. You should end up with 5y over y minus 3. And that one, through my work there. Here we've got a fraction on the top. That one's okay. We like that. 1 over x minus 14, already a fraction. Here we've got a fraction. So I got to give this a common denominator. So we got x minus 14 minus 1 all over that x minus 14. So now I got a fraction over a fraction. 1 over x minus 14 multiplied by the reciprocal, x minus 14 over x minus 15. Notice the x minus 14's cancel, so we just end up with 1 over x minus 15 on this one. And you can go ahead and pause the video, try that next one. Should end up with 1 over x plus 6. And that you try a problem. Now let's move on to this next one here. We've got 4 x cubed y. Alright, let's look at the numerator set of rational expressions in the numerator. X cubed, the one on the right hand has x y to the 4th. So I need to give this 2 more x's. Now they both have x cubed. Now notice the one has y to the 4th. The one on the left only has a y. So I got to give this 3 more y's. Now it is x cubed y to the 4th. X cubed y to the 4th for that common denominator. Now let's look at the bottom. The one on the left bottom has x cubed. The one on the right has just an x. So I need to give it 2 more x's. Oops, I forgot to put that up there. And they both have a y, so we're okay on that. So let's see what we got here. I got 4y cubed plus 5x squared all over x cubed y to the 4th. And then this is all over 5 minus 2x squared all over x cubed y. And so now we'll multiply by the reciprocal. So 4y cubed plus 5x squared over x cubed y to the 4th times x cubed y over 5 minus 2x squared. Well, notice x cubed, that's going to be gone, right? Because this is all being multiplied. And then notice the y over y to the fourth. That y is going to leave me with 3 y's down there. And so it looks like we end up with 4y to the third plus 5x squared over, and I have a y cubed on the bottom and a 5 minus 2x squared as well. Let's look at one more before you guys try the last one by yourself here. So we got 5 over x plus 1, 5 over x minus 1. And the denominator already is a fraction. So this one's missing an x minus 1. This one's missing an x plus 1 in order to get them as one fraction. So I'll have 5x minus 1 minus 5x plus 1. This is all over x minus 1, x plus 1. And then, so I got one fraction there. This is all over 13 over x squared minus 1. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. So we got 5x minus 5 minus 5x minus 5 over x minus 1, x plus 1. This is all over 13. I'm going to go ahead and factor that difference of squares there. So I got a fraction over a fraction. I got negative 10 over x minus 1, x plus 1 over that other fraction. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, x minus 1, x plus 1 over the 13. And notice everything cancels except for the negative 10 over 13. So go ahead and try this last one here. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. You should end up with negative 12 over 11. Thanks so much for watching and taking notes on complex fractions. See you next time.